Good morning to Bromfields in the 35 corridor. I'm D. Lee Edwards here, the host of the Real Deal Real Estate Show. And today's special guest is Shane Harrell of Craftmaster Homes, one of our go-to pros. We're going to be discussing the state of custom homes, supply chain cost obstacles, and then we're going to have a little fun quiz about what are good investments in remodeling and what not to waste your money on. But first, it's time for the New Braunfels Title Market Report. Today, we're looking at Hays County. Sales are steady with 971 homes sold in the last 90 days and 326 in the last 30. Sales in Hays have stayed, in the 320 to 390 range since March, with only a heavy dip in October. Availability has gone down about 7.8% in the last month. Some of that from folks pulling their homes off the market for, waiting for better days because they were probably overpriced. And that is creating a little less inventory. Expect to see the rise of inventory near March as the first Fed interest drop may occur in 2024. Now, there are 5 homes under $200,000 in Hays, 113 from $200,000 to $300,000, 439 homes from $300,000 to $400,000, 242 from $400,000 to $500,000, and 593 over $500,000. Basically, you're still in a buyer's market. The rental market, it stayed heavy with 378 homes on the market in Hays. Mortgage rates fell below 7%, and it wasn't because of the Fed. Nope, it was because of the bond market, especially the 10-year, and, of course, the Wall Street thinking that not increasing the rates anymore was a good thing. So what did we see? Conventional was down to 6.82, 15-year to 6.29, FHA was at 6.23, and VA at 6.25. That means buy downs where you can spend a little money to get your interest into the 5s. Oh, and the Fed, they didn't do the drop, but you're going to hear with the bond market where it came from. The 10-year Treasury dropped to 3.904 on Thursday, while the 2-year was at 4.433. The 91-day T-bill holding at 5.26 makes for crazy, crazy moves. Now, Wall Street thought the Fed would drop the rate. I've said a month ago they wouldn't. And guess what? I was right. The Fed said they may drop rate 3 times in 2024. But that only means, really, 75 basis points. The bond market is already adjusted against the rate, so the real impact could only be a half point. Still, getting the 30-year into the low 6s and FHA into the 5s will definitely help the economy in June through the end of 2024. Jobless claims continue to decline with 202,000 first-time claims this week. That's good news. Much of that is due to seasonal employment. And, of course, those people that are really kind of hold on to a job at the end of the year. Well, let's see. The Fed and inflation is coming under control, they say. But, one of the areas where certain products deflate really helps that. See, housing prices on existing homes have dropped. Food is coming down a little, unless you're going to, McDonald's and restaurants, it's up. Fuel went down last week, and early in the week we thought we were really going to see a big drop because oil was at $68 a barrel, but by the time we started recording this, it was already back up to $72.80 a barrel for West Texas Intermediate. Now, with building supplies coming down a little bit, restaurants staying high, cars staying high, except for used car prices slightly coming. We're getting some relief on prices, but not enough to really, make us feel all warm and fuzzy for Christmas. Still, we may have a soft landing with the Fed approach. Gosh, I just don't know they can pull that off, but they keep trying. Now, when, we've been talking about for the last few weeks, high interest on credit cards, apparently some of y'all are paying attention. That's right. Nationally, they're seeing what you would call 1-800 credit card rate. Yep, people are calling around to see who's got better rates so they can automatically transfer their balances to a lower rate and save some money. But also we're finding in the economy right now, people are paying cash and not spending as much on, well, frivolous junk to give to their friends at the holidays. Good job, guys. Now, Shark Tank Barbara Cochran, she agrees with us that now is one of the best times to buy a house. Yes, now through June could be the best time, she thinks. Lower home prices currently, interest rates dropping. With a window to bigger drops in 2025, you could hit the quinella if you get into the market now. Yemen, well, they could be the next hot spot as they're attacking ships headed to Israel. The Houthis, they've been pushing a little hard. Hopefully, we can get them to cool it versus expanding an already little hot potato war between Hamas and Israel. And, oh, by the way, that's going to make oil a little bit wicked over the next to see how it plays out over there since China has put some of their fleet in the same location. Stock market was wild this week with the Dow jumping over 1,000 points to 37,271, and S&P was to 47,34, and the Nasdaq jumped up to 14,806. Almost makes you feel giddy. It was such a good day and a good week. With all the electronics and HVAC systems, copper may become the new gold. Yep, and we've got shortages. So, man, all of this stuff we're trying to do with EVs and electric power and solar, we could come to a screeching halt because we just don't have enough, well, copper to go around. Maybe we need to go find a copper mine. We might make some money off of it. Now, look for oil and gas to regain some of its luster as politicians start to see the reality that the shift to electric ain't cutting it anywhere, because you can't go long enough distance and get recharged enough. Nothing like going to the in-laws and buying an extension cord so you can get home. Yeah. Hurry up, hydrogen. Interest rates down, housing demand steady, inventory declines except rentals, stock market up, oil up, Congress, well, still messed up. Some prices of consumer goods coming down while others hold. Consumers still shopping, but with more discipline. Holiday parties abound, and so everybody, well, let's just keep smiling. It could be a very bright, bright holiday. And my friends, that's the real deal for December 16th. And we're back on the Real Deal Real Estate Show, and our special guest today is Shane Harrell with Craftmaster Homes. Good morning, Shane.
Good morning, Lee.
Now, this portion of our show is brought to you by Meyer Heating and Air Conditioning, keeping you comfortable all year long. So, are you seeing remodeling or more new construction on lots?
Well, right now we are seeing more remodeling coming down the pipe than we've seen in quite some time.
Is that because the cost of new construction and the interest rates and the cost of land prices had elevated?
Yes, yes, and yes. The trifecta.
Yeah, absolutely. All of those and probably a few more.
That's right.
Right. The only place really in new construction that anybody's coming out is in the production guys because they're buying down the interest rates. And
right.
In fact, in a couple of subdivisions, they have dropped their prices 50, 60 grand in order to keep their crews working, which means guys like you can't compete with that stuff.
Correct. Well, and when they're buying down the mortgages, I mean, they basically are vertically integrated, so they have everything from the initial, infrastructure design and build all the way through the mortgage and so when they're buying these things down, they're buying from themselves.
Yeah, and that means we're talking about houses really in the, in the case of production houses from $500,000 and down.
Correct.
Right. And so from new construction and custom, really we're looking at houses priced from $750,000 up to about $1.8 million to $2 million. Is that about right?
That's about right for standard, custom homes at this point.
Now, remodel has become a big deal, one, because of interest rates. People that had 2%, 3% mortgages wanted to stay in their houses. What locally are you seeing that people are spending money on?
Well, it varies. I honestly have been seeing multiple people completely remodeling their homes.
Stem to stern.
Some of them to the point of we're even removing components, structural components, and putting them back.
Wow.
Trying to, raise the roof, if
Right.
you want to call it. Get some height in these homes. But a lot of people are we're still seeing a lot of kitchen work, master bathrooms, complete owner suite renovations, outside environment. All
Now,
those.
on those that have been doing stem to stern, are those in upscale neighborhoods or in resilient neighborhoods like on the Hill or in certain neighborhoods at Canyon Lake? Where have you been seeing?
I've seen mostly the Hill and the Canyon Lake area. You have the homes on the Hill that dating back to the 50s, and they're seeing the revitalization which the Hill has been going through, and and then up in Canyon Lake, some of the older subdivisions, particularly lakefront areas, they don't make any more lakefront area, and the way Canyon Lake's been doing lately, we're losing that too.
Yeah, well, when the water goes down, people got to change their mind about being at Canyon Lake. Right. But when the water comes back, we're only a flood away, from being full pools. So,
there you go.
Yeah, so that's one thing about us. Give us 10 years, we'll get it back. With this remodeling craze, I thought it would be a little fun for us to have a little test. All right, so, and we're going to see value recognition. Do you see it as a good value or not? Now, all of the answers I know and the questions that I'm using here all came from the Reader's Digest. And what they said was good and bad based upon national surveys. And that may not be applicable to the local market. Sometimes we're a little bit different in the national voice. Okay, so here we go. You do just one bathroom and stop. Added value or not?
Owner suite, yes. Secondary bathrooms, maybe not so much.
Right. Nothing like going, they did that one, why did they not do the other one? Right.
That's right.
Okay. You upgrade to nickel fixtures, but you forgot to get rid of the gold in the guest bath.
That's a tough one. Again, in the owner suite, I would say you get the bang for your buck. And in the secondary bathrooms, maybe not so much.
Yeah, one of the things that said in Reader's Digest is that little bit of difference could hurt you from getting value on your sale. So if you're headed to sale, they said, go ahead and change the other fixtures. Even though you don't remodel the whole bath, get rid of the stuff from 1958. Okay, extensive landscaping.
Extensive, I would say no.
That's correct.
Some minor landscaping, yes.
Yeah, I mean, having your grass looking in good shape, a few nice shrubs around the place, but putting $30,000-$40,000 in landscaping in, you will not get your money back.
That sounds like a pool to me.
Yeah, and it is. Well, that was the next question. Now, do you get your money out of a pool or not?
That's like a boat. Best 2 days owning one are the day you buy it and the day you sell it.
Yeah, well, the one thing about it is you learn that a pool is a personal decision for personal enjoyment.
That is 100% correct.
But what it adds to your value, you spend $100,000 to get $15,000
That's right.
in your appraisal. Okay, sunrooms or garage conversions?
I would say sunrooms. Garages are still, people still want their garage.
Yeah. And the problem is if you convert a garage, if you can't convert it to a quality that's equal to the house, it will never appraise for the same value. In fact, appraisers won't treat it the same way. So even though you spend $100 a foot making it look cushy, the fact you lost your garage probably hurt you worse.
Right.
Okay. All right. Lighting upgrades.
Yes.
Absolutely. You're correct. Update or refinish cabinets.
Bang for your buck, I would say refinishing, assuming that they are of a quality that they can be refinished.
Right. If they're like artificial wood.
Right. Press board with paper over them.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
pretty hard to refinish.
You might be able to paint them, but that's about as
Right.
good as it'd get. Right. All right. Good. Paint.
Yes.
Absolutely. New front door.
Yes.
Yes, absolute. New front doors a lot of times really add value to the house because it's the first impression going in and the last one coming out. Okay. Wall-to-wall carpet.
No.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. Wall-to-wall carpet is not a thing. Other types of flooring, yes. But wall-to-wall carpet is not. Maybe in the bedrooms for sound performance, that kind of thing. But trust me, you don't want to carpet your bathroom at all. All right, vinyl or travertine?
Vinyl.
Yeah.
Travertine is nice, but you're generally looking at a higher end, and travertine is very hard on the upkeep.
Yeah, it's really hard on the upkeep. Generally, we only see travertine in houses above $750,000 to $1 million because of maintenance and look. So just because it's the cat's meow doesn't mean it really fits in the house that you're doing.
Right.
All right, we need to take a short break and, talk to our sponsors. They've got some great information for you. Listen to the Real Deal Real Estate Show on KGMB 1420 AM and 103.1 FM. And we're back on the Real Deal Real Estate Show with our special guest, Shane Harrell of Craftsmaster Homes. And we're having a little fun about if you're remodeling, what's worth the money, and, well, what quite frankly was a waste of dough. Okay, so let's take a look here. Our next one is giving the house an exterior facelift.
Yes, I think particularly as we're talking about some of these older homes, you put an exterior facelift on it, and it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah, especially some of the houses that were mid-century. There is a liking of mid-century a little bit, but generally they feel like the ceilings are too low, so giving it a new frontal view, which you see several have been done on the hill, really is adding value to the house.
For sure.
And that also includes paint. It includes maybe adding wainscoting or stone, getting rid of asbestos siding or covering over it, things of that nature that people feel is a little more durable.
Right.
Right? All right. Going double pane from single pane.
On the resale side, I don't think you're going to get it. I do like it. From heating and cooling and energy efficiency perspective, I like it, but I don't know that you get it unless you can truly sell the quality of the product that you're putting in.
Yeah. Where it comes down to, you can't go in and go from, say, a single pane window to Anderson's.
Right.
But if you went single pane to a standard McCoy's double pane, you probably would recover the money in two ways. Number one, you're going to recover it from your utility expense and the fact that it's a little bit more modern. But as far as getting your price up $3,000-4,000, probably not.
Right.
Okay. Next one is new roof.
Yes. Roofs, and more than likely, if you're going to a new roof, you probably needed it. So, yeah, you're going to get your bang for your buck.
Yeah, it may not increase the real value of the home. It will make it more sellable. You will get less negotiations against you saying, well, look, the roof's old, so we want to take the price down. But it also, because if you've got a new roof and you've replaced the water heater and some other big tickets, sometimes that does help your value overall as being updated.
Right.
Okay.
And it says that you're taking care of the house.
Right.
It's been maintained.
We already talked about swimming pool as being, a personal endeavor for enjoyment. And then opening up for more space and light.
Yes, I think that really ever since COVID, that has been something that has really come about for people. You know, in previous segments, we've talked about living in your home, and really doing that helps having that natural light.
Yeah, so that's a good update to do. Maybe you got that wall between the living room and the kitchen living or whatever, and you want to open up and give it a more open feel. That's been working well. Or expanding the size of some of the bedrooms. You know, if you've got a 4-bedroom, you turn it into a 3 because the rooms were 10 by 10. You know, it may be a good thing. New office space. Value not.
It's value, and that's another product of COVID.
Right. Yeah, new office space because a lot of people, because of COVID, working from home,
Right.
decided that. That's true. That is a value. High-tech, over-the-top media room with every bell and whistle.
No.
You're absolutely correct.
And more, the bells and whistles, we're not seeing them.
No.
Because with everything going Wi-Fi, we're not putting a lot of that bell and whistle element in these homes.
Well, not all the hard wiring and the speakers everywhere, because you can use portable Wi-Fi, this, that, and the other personal devices. And the other thing is, high tech costs a lot today, and 2 years from now, you can get it for pennies on the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. Solar panels. Here's a hard one.
I'm going to turn that one to based on where you're putting them in, location-wise, as to whether or not you're going to get any bang out of that.
Yeah. Okay. Put them in the front of the house, you suck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Even though that may be the best direction, it does take away from your curb appeal.
Right.
Second thing about it is it leased or owned?
That is another huge element. And the other part of that is, do you have the batteries?
Right.
Because if you're putting it back into the grid, what are you really gaining from it, leasing it or owning it? Because if you're going back in the grid, you may get your bill down some, but it's...
Yeah. Solar panels is a personal choice to reduce your utility bill, but it does not add value to the house. In fact, here's a couple of things. There's a couple of houses in the market currently that have solar panels that they own, but they have it on a loan from the solar company. Interest rates really high, and they're not getting a return. We saw one where they'd had the solar panel in place for 3 years. They really only reduced with what they bought their utility bill by $300, and their monthly payment on that thing is like $800 for another 15 years. So, a couple of things. One, you need a very reliable solar company. Two, you need the best panel you can get that is value. In other words, it produces well, but it's not over the top on cost. Mm-hmm. And then you really need to pay cash. Anything other than that, it's handicapped. Oh, by the way, that house with the $40,000 still loaned, they take it and then they have to repair the roof. So the seller has to fix all that roof and stuff. And if they don't, and so they leave it, they want the money and they have to pay it off. Now, the way it's working is, if you owe $40,000, it's going to come out of your proceeds. You have to deliver all of that free and clear of debt. So, unless you're paying cash, it's certainly not a good value. Okay? All right. And the last one is kitchen remodel.
Yes, kitchen remodels are good. You can go over the top and make it not so much return on your investment, but from a general perspective, a kitchen remodel is going to be something that you're going to get good return on.
Cabinets, countertops, sinks, and faucets.
Right.
And updated appliances. But going to really, man, I tiled everything and overdid, and I got the pot faucet and all the other things where I had to move plumbing and all of that may not get you a return.
Right. Sub-Zero, Wolf generally don't have to go into a kitchen remodel unless you're planning on keeping it.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. Well, you did really great with all of that, by the way, and we caught him off guard. He didn't even know he was going to step into this. So apparently Shane Harrell with Craftmasters knows where to put your money in a house. Congratulations, Shane.
Oh, thank you.
Now, how can folks get a hold of you to get good advice and maybe a little remodeling done?
They can call our office at 512-847-5288.
All right. And if they want to go to a website to see some of your cheery work you've got in process?
We have a website, craftmastercustomhomes.com.
And you're on the Facebooks, too.
Yeah, we're at Craftmaster Homes LC on Facebook.
Hey, great. Well, thanks for coming in and joining us. As always, we appreciate you coming in. Great advice on what to update your home with, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you, Lee.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have today on the Real Deal Real Estate Show. So join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. on KGNB 1420 AM and 103.1 FM to listen to the Real Deal Real Estate Show, where we discuss market trends, the economy, stocks, bonds, plus special guests giving you great advice like Shane Harrell with Craftmaster Homes and, of course, help you with your investments. And if you're looking for great value and exceptional guidance, don't forget to call D. Lee Edwards Realty at 830-620-7653. That's 830-620-SOLD. Or go to dleeedwardsrealty.com and search the entire MLS through IDX. And by the way, if you want to talk to an agent this week, maybe ask for Adam Perez. He's a pretty seasoned guy that can help you out. So next Saturday, join us at 10 a.m. for the Real Deal Real Estate Show. I'm D. Lee Edwards saying good day, Nabrumfels, and good investing.